Or they finna railroad Carmelo Anthony. I've never seen coverage of a case. I ain't gonna say never so cold. I've seen it before. I already hear the George Zimmerman type logic, the Natasha Harlan type logic, the Child type logic, Trayvon Martin. The law sure has a crazy way of considering all type of elements when it comes to finding a black guilty of doing something or finding a white innocent of doing something. Man, they consider things, oh, he was lost sanity for that 1 second. Um, but here we have a defense attorney. Now, I've never seen a defense attorney go public and cease being a defense attorney when he speaks on the case. But you're about to see it right now. Like, anybody that may be seeking after him to retain him, you might want to be cautious because he can't even remain in the spirit of a defense attorney while discussing this case. But let's check it out. It ain't looking good for dude, man. It's not looking, all of a sudden, for the first time in my life, putting your hands on someone against their will is being painted as something other than illegal or other than an assault. Boy, oh boy, man, we better pray for our brother. This is something we can't ignore while we pay attention to all the bullshit, do all the trolling content, all the shit that just entertains. Sometimes we got to think about the shit that matters, because this could be anybody in this position or anybody's child. We've seen this movie before. It's nothing new. Emmett Till. We got examples that go back for ages.
In the chest and kill them because they touch you. I think a lot of what this case is going to come down to is going to remind us of what happened in the O.J. Simpson case. The race card is going to be played here.
He says this is a defense attorney with so much confidence, but he won't even comment. When he say that, he won't comment on the fact that all the black juries that could have potentially sat on this all jurors that could have sat on this jury were dismissed, and it was declared that this case is considered race neutral. Race neutral, with all the racial elements that everybody could obviously see. From the top down, it's been classified as race neutral, which is okay, while piling a jury of his peers, no black people appear.
A Texas student athlete charged with stabbing a football star from a rival high school to death is set to face trial this week.
Wow, an athlete stabbed a star. Listen to how that wording, it's important. An athlete stabbed a star. I heard Carmelo Anthony was a star athlete as well, Carmelo Anthony. Listen to how it sounded.
Set to face trial this week. Carmelo Anthony, then a 17-year-old senior from Frisco Centennial High School, stabbed Frisco Memorial High schooler Austin Metcalf on April 2nd, 2025, after Metcalf asked Anthony to leave his team's tent during a track meet, prosecutors have claimed. Witnesses say Anthony told Metcalf...
He told the story. He asked him to leave, and he got stabbed. They didn't say nothing. He asked him to leave and then tried to force him to leave with his hands. It's crazy work.
Quote, touch me and see what happens, while reaching inside his bag before a brief scuffle, in which Anthony stabbed Metcalf.
What's the difference? We're not allowed to touch human beings against their will. So what's the difference if someone's saying, touch me and see what happens, and please don't put your hands on me? Who said it had to be worded one way or the next?
Metcalf in the chest with a knife. Anthony then allegedly fled as Metcalf bled out in his twin brother's arms. The case kicked off a major racial uproar online, with donations pouring in to defend Anthony. A family spokesman...
It bled out in his twin brother's arms versus where he unfortunately passed away. That's the fact. Twin brother's arm is to sensationalize it and to poke at the emotion of not only you, the viewer and listener, but the fucking jury too.
Said last year that the money would go to, quote, stand with us in the fight against white supremacy. As Anthony's lawyers say he acted in self-defense, the New York Post spoke with a criminal defense attorney to break down the case.
Hi, my name is Randy Zellin. I am a
You a piece of shit.
criminal defense attorney. I have been practicing for 38 years. I am a former prosecutor, and I have been an
38 years. How many niggas you think he didn't dump trucked up into the system and just fuck their life over?
adjunct professor at Cornell University School of Law. First of all, when we're talking about justification, self-defense, what I am saying as a defendant is that I had a reasonable belief that someone was going to immediately hurt me. That is
Explain to me then how did Natasha Harlan's murderer never do a day in jail? Got it here. So I guess Trayvon Martin didn't have the right to defend himself against this grown man with a gun that was pursuing him against police orders. He shouldn't have not had any concern about this man with this weapon taking his life, and he didn't have the right to stand his ground. They gonna twist it anytime, any way to fit their position. It's bullshit.
justification against ordinary force. Now, up that ante. If I use deadly force on someone, if I kill
Look, when Sonya Massey had a pot of water, boy.
someone, and my defense is self-defense or justification, the jury has to be not convinced, if you will, by the government that I acted reasonably, that I reasonably believed that I was about to be killed.
He did not attempt to kill the person. People attempt to defend themselves all the time, and subsequently things happen that were not intended. That's why we don't put our hands on other individuals to start off with, because you cannot break the law by putting your hands on someone, which is against the law, and then dictate their reaction. What if he didn't think a simple blow would be effective against someone so much larger than him? He was just trying to make sure he was effective, and I'm pretty sure he did not have intentions on taking a life. So what if he threw a punch and the dude fell over and hit his head on the weight? Or he just hit him in this perfect spot on the temple and the dude died. Then what? Nobody yet has said anything about this boy who unfortunately lost his life, reaching out, putting his hands on this young man, and how that is illegal. They're just skipping right over that, and I don't like it.
As a result of that reasonable belief that I was about to be killed, I killed first. I killed in self-defense. So the first issue I see here, from what we know, this was a verbal altercation where it almost seems like the defendant was provoking the incident himself by—
That's bullshit, bro. If somebody is trying to get you to relocate from where you are and they becoming more aggressive, and you tell them, hey, back up, I got a gun, I'll shoot, and they keep coming at you, what? You telling me? Man, this shit is bullshit, bro. How was he trying to provoke it when he's warning someone it wouldn't be wise to put your hands on me? The provocation comes from the person who then challenges that warning. What are you talking about?
allegedly saying, touch me and see what happens, as he's reaching into a bag. And then apparently he was touched. Touching someone is not deadly force.
Touching someone is illegal. He sounds nothing like a defense attorney. The race element has already taken over when we allowed them to kick all the black jurors off and then declare this case is race neutral. You think you're talking to?
You cannot meet deadly force. You cannot stab someone in the chest and kill them because they touch you. They've got to be coming at you with a knife. They've got to be coming at you with a gun. They've got to be coming at you with a metal.
I saw a young black boy get shot down in his back. He wasn't coming at anyone with anything. There was a weapon that was reportedly that had fallen, but he still was fleeing at a high rate of speed away from his killers. They simply, all they had to do was stop pursuing him. All these requirements fall upon us in order to get anything that resembles justice. The law is able to understand, consider, and examine and expand to every iota of potential mental disparity that a white person may experience. Oh, his mother called him fat when he was 6 years old, so now he's 32. And this guy said, get your fat ass out the way. It snapped something in his head, and for that 2 seconds, that's how they be. It's crazy.
A pipe to split your head open. You can't be justified in killing someone.
It is not illegal to keep a pocket knife present with you at all times. And if someone larger than you is preparing to put their hands on you, there is nothing wrong with arming yourself with said pocket knife and letting that individual know, you big motherfucker, if you keep coming up on me and putting your hands on me, I will defend myself. Whether you allow them to know your method of defense or not, you having a legal knife, you legally defending yourself, does not somehow relinquish the person that you had to defend yourself against from responsibility if they illegally, against your will, place their hands upon you. I wouldn't give a
with a knife and stabbing them in the chest if they were not about to immediately use deadly force on you. Then now take the opposite end. We see at the beginning whether or not the defendant was justified, and at the end we see something called consciousness of guilt. The fact that he fled the scene, to me, cuts against a self-defense, a justification defense, because if I...
What defense lawyers do, even when they're on television, they look at the case and they present the best possible argument from a defense perspective. He's abandoning all that to hang the young man. Me just cosplaying as defense attorney can't present a better defense than what he's attempting to do.
Acted innocently, and I just stabbed someone because I thought they were going to kill me. I don't think I would run. So I don't think that the defendant's sense was reasonable, that he was about...
There's a group, an angry mob, his brother included. They all were interested in seeing me be removed from my location. I've had to defend myself against one of these guys. So now I'm supposed to stay there indignant and challenge even more than to put their hands on me. This dude is not, he's giving a very disingenuous presentation. He is not a defensive attorney of integrity whatsoever. He is already in the mind frame of what white America is capable of doing to a black person with the law. You see how those scales, they balances, they weigh. There is no even prescription of how the law is applied. We can show case by case by case how it just seems like they were basically cases in 2 different countries. And we're about to see how often this law, this system, is going to fuck over one of ours, man.
To be killed, nor do I think his behavior afterwards is consistent, is equally unreasonable from the standpoint of behaving like someone who was innocent. What the defendant was doing with a knife.
Defense attorneys need to press for not guilty. Innocent and not guilty are not opposites, bro. I mean, they're not the same thing. You can be not guilty of something, but still not be innocent of it. Innocence is an actual reality, Not guilty is a verdict. The court does not deal in innocence. It deals in not guilty and guilty. And as a professional defense attorney, your job is to bring about not guilty. This dude, this is crazy. You in trouble, bro.
On him, I think, is going to be telling. So you have the absence of the ability to use deadly force versus someone having deadly force immediately on hand at a high school track meet. So unless he was a chef, unless he was
Al Rittenhouse could travel with an illegal weapon that he wasn't even legally owning, and it could be justified for him to do that, then he could open fire on a crowd, even though they had audio of him planning to do this at a whole nother time. He can still be deemed not guilty. You see how the law bends and flexes for others?
a fisherman.
And there's nothing illegal about him possessing this knife versus Kyle in that chopper.
What is he doing with a knife that is capable of killing someone with apparently one strike? So that's going to be another hurdle that I see the defense having to overcome. But
it is so extremely American, especially in Texas, to have a knife. He might have knives because he used to running up on snakes out there somewhere. They crazy.
we're going to play this case down the middle. I think a lot of what this case is going to come down to is going to remind us of what happened in the O.J. Simpson case. The race card is going to be played here. And I do believe that the defense is going to be looking for a jury that's going to say, I don't know what happened here, and I don't even care what happened.
He's white as the whitest non-black loving American can be. He went all the way back after all these years to O.J. case. Then watch how he act like Johnny Cochran stole a win and O.J. is guilty. That's how they think. They find it. They don't care. Oh, the laws of justice, our justice system so great. But they all believe they got it wrong with O.J. Oh, my mama.
Here. But I am so tired of white people doing things to black people, and it's the black people that end up on trial, and it's not right and it's not fair.
He just claims that we need jurors that are tired of white people doing things to black people and the black people suffering the consequences. Where would he get an idea like there will be people anywhere in the world that can get tired of such a phenomenon? This is why it was such damaging when Candace Owens declares it didn't exist. He is obviously in his mind not describing an imaginary condition. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Something called jury nullification. And I do believe that race has already been and will continue to be a very big issue in this case. It's not fair to the prosecution. I don't think it's fair, quite frankly, to any race where...
Wow, this dude said it's not fair to the prosecution. What made them put him up? Because there's an agenda to get everybody thinking the same way. And look, look how they pushed the agenda. The only chance he sees them having is an OJ chance. And we know white America is not looking to see another OJ.
A defendant is playing that card, but as a defense attorney, that ain't my job. My job is to get my client off by any means reasonably and legally necessary. So if I can play the race card and I can be the second coming of Johnny Cochran, and my client walks out of the courthouse with me, either acquitted or with a hung jury, I'll sleep that night.
He's extremely disingenuous. If that's exactly what he should have been saying from the beginning, things of those natures. The things that he said in between, he's betrayed his profession. Don't sleep, don't slip. You got to read in between the lines. Oh, my mama. Pray for Carmelo Anthony and pray for us.
Get you some money, you're going to feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. you know, get you a couple dollars, man. You gonna feel different.
Hey, little Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.